Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. You're going to have a great time in the next few minutes hearing from really good strategies from some CEOs and entrepreneurs in Arkansas on the Shrimp Tank, where we teach you how to go from a shrimp to a shark in the business world. Hey everyone, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Arkansas Shrimp Tank podcast. I'm your host, Rich Jensen, along with my co-host, David Sims, and our special guest for the second time, Jeff Stinson, of numerous different startup and funding, advising, coaching type programs.
Incredible resource here in Central Arkansas. I agree.
We had a really good time talking with Jeff, learning about all the different things that are out there. And we thought on this, we just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the highlights that, some about the programs of who qualifies and who they're looking for. And also we were reading an Entrepreneur magazine talking about bold moves.
Right.
And
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Jeff talked about the 4 things he's involved in: Innovate Arkansas, the Health InnovatAR, the Delta I Fund, and the Arkansas Fund for
Arkansas's future.
Fund for Arkansas's future. I always want to put Arkansas in front of it. But anyway, talking about those 4 things in different formats, so you really should watch the whole show. But Jeff, you talked about a bold move story of a very successful entrepreneur here in town, a software company. We share that with our viewers. It's really a great story.
So, one of our own Little Rock citizens here, Justin George. I just think the world of him, just both personally and professionally. He's just a great guy. He's probably mid-30s, I would guess. He built a successful business prior to his new venture called Aptgy. It was a very simple business. It was the door-hanging coupons, where you come home and find a string of coupons hanging from your door. And he built that up just through a lot of hard work, sold the company, did well with that, but was thinking about what's my next move. So he developed a software platform called Aptgy. That's a really robust communication platform that school systems can use to communicate with students, parents, teachers, even inside a school system. It's a robust communication tool. So he came and presented our Fund for Arkansas's Future. Initially, we said, this is not ready. Here's what we like, what we don't like, et cetera. He kept working, came back a second time. We still weren't ready to. Third time came back. We made an investment, and we're so glad he did, because it has taken off. I think he's got about 100 employees. He's nationwide in scope. He's hundreds of schools across the country. Closed a $5 million venture capital round with 5 Elms Partners last year, an out-of-state venture capital firm, and is just doing fantastic. And the best part of Justin, though, is that with all the things going on in his life and just this tremendous success that he has, he gives back every single time. Whenever we ask him inside of Fund for Arkansas's Future or the Delta I Fund or Health InnovatAR, hey, will you connect with another entrepreneur who's trying to start a company? Will you spend time with him or her and give that person advice? Always willing to do it. He's just a tremendous guy.
Yeah. And the other thing about that technology, I was saying, if you've been in any school setting or you have a kid in college, it's being used everywhere, because they can blast out to all the phones and all the social media and everything. If there's a campus shooter or some kind of announcement that has to be announced at a school, it's his technology. It's incredible. It's so cool.
One of the things that was really interesting when we talked about the Fund for Arkansas's Future is we asked you, who should apply or what are you looking for and do that. And you mentioned 4 things in particular. Share with our viewers kind of what makes a good...
Well, now I have to remember the 4 things that I said, but I'll try, right?
I'll remind you. I took notes.
It'd be 4 new ones, maybe. I don't know.
Look, if you hit it starts out with a strong management team.
4 completely different things, I'll say now. All right, so we'll start with management team. I mean, you can't really go anywhere without a winning team who is just so committed to success that they put the company on its back and they will it to success no matter what. That level of persistence matters a whole lot. They have to have some sort of sustainable competitive advantage. That might come through intellectual property or proprietary technology. It might come from the expertise of the management team, but they have to have some sort of competitive advantage.
Right.
They have to have a large and growing market,
Yeah.
I think, because if you go into a small market, it's just you can be really successful, but it's not going to have the scale. And the last one, of course, is it has to have the ability to scale rapidly with a clear path to exit. So the company has to be positioned to be acquired by someone else, or at least keep getting later rounds of capital, so that we as early stage investors can get our money back out of the investment.
Yeah. And then on the first point about the management team, you mentioned what you all are looking for at the fund. And
That's right.
When you get the subjectivity of who's actually doing this thing. Talk
That's
about
right.
that.
Yeah, so angel funds, as they've gone on, we've become more risk averse, just like the venture capital funds who preceded us. So if we can find teams that have accomplished a great deal, that's awesome. But if we have so many of our startups in Arkansas are so early in their development, many times what you have to evaluate the most is the team itself. So there's an old saying in angel investing world that an A management team can successfully execute a B business model, but a B or C team can't execute an A business model. So it really is about the people. And, particularly the earlier the stage of the company, the more critical the people are, because it can really, it's the biggest differentiator for success.
It's like this podcast, we've got B and C talent, but we got an A producer.
That's right. He's making it all work. That's right on. That's good. It was a great podcast. You definitely should listen to all of it and get to know Jeff and tap into him. I like I said in the podcast, everybody should listen to this.
Jeff, tell them you mentioned phone and email address. People can get a hold of you. Share with the
so
viewers.
sure, happy to do it. I field questions from entrepreneurs any day, time, night, evening, whatever. Jeff at Health InnovatAR, which there's an AR on the end instead of an OR. Jeff at healthinnovator.com, and phone number is 501-766-0633.
Well, we want to thank Jeff so much for coming on the tank again. I encourage you, listen to the entire podcast, especially if you're looking for possible funding, if you're looking for coaching and mentoring and advising. There's just so many resources available to you right here in Little Rock and throughout the state of Arkansas. Avail yourselves of that if you've got a great idea and really want to get some help moving forward.
Right.
Until next week, stay safe, and remember, in the business world, to become a shark, we all start out as shrimp.